Hello, my name is John Burns and I'd like to show you how to use the Smart Collections to organize some of your footage. By default, Final Cut Pro makes its own Smart Collections when you import. Usually they have all audio, and I have no projects yet, so there's nothing in there, and it puts your stills there in your video. But I would like to organize it myself, so I would like to make my own Smart Collections. So I can delete a Smart Collection. It doesn't delete actually any footage. It just basically deletes that organization of the Smart Collections. So I'm gonna start all over again. I could even delete the Smart Collections folder, and it's not gonna delete any of my footage. It still stays in here, all of it. So I'm gonna make a new Smart Collection, and I wanna find all my pics. So I'm gonna name this stills, and I'm gonna double click it. And I can find all my stills by, they all have IMG on it, on the beginning. So I'm going to add a filter, and I'm going to say by text. And it includes IMG. So you can see it populates everything with IMG on it. You can't see the names because the browser is too small. So if I make it a little bigger, you can see the names IMG. So they all have IMG, they're all my pics. So I'm going to close that out, and I'm going to make another Smart Collection. And this time I want to find all my movies with video only. So I'm going to put video only. And I didn't name it right, so I'm going to just go back in there and name it. You can always rename a Smart Collection even after it's done. And I'm going to double click it, and I'm going to add media type. And right away it comes up with video and audio, but I want video only. So it puts that in there. All the video only with no audio. So I close that out, and I'll make another one, another Smart Collection, and this time I want to find all my audio files that have no video. So I'm going to double click it again, and I'm going to say media type, and this time I'll say audio only, and it populates that Smart Collection. If I hit this new Smart Collection button, it just gives me an untitled folder with the old search that I had in it, so it has still all the audio only. But this time I want to find everything with a 1080 frame size, so I'm going to put 1080. I'm going to double click it, and I'm going to delete this filter here, and I'm going to go to this time format, and I'll go to frame size, and I'll put 1080. So this will bring up all my assets with 1080 frame size, 1920 by 1080. So that's already in the Smart Collection here. And I'm going to make a new Smart Collection, and it will still have the 1080 in there, even though it's a new one, it's untitled, but we can erase that later. And this time I want to find everything with a frame rate of 2997. So I'm going to double click that, and this time instead of frame size, I'm gonna actually, I can delete this, or I can just use it again. So I can just say video frame rate and change the filter to 2997, and there it brings up everything with 2997 in it, and I can close that out. So there's many ways you can organize your footage quickly with the Smart Collections. I'm gonna make one more and say new Smart Collection, and this time I want to find my frame size of 720, because I have two formats in here. So I'll put 720, and I'll double click it, and I'll go to format, and I'll go to frame size again, and I'll put 720. So now it finds everything that's 720 by 480. And you can see here I have some names here. So I have shrimp here, I have song. So if I wanted to find that, and I know it's in there, and I want to put it in a Smart Collection, I can right click and say new Smart Collection, and I'll put song, and I know I can find it through text. So if I double click it, I can go here and I can go to text, and I'll just, anything that includes song, and we have the song that's in there. You could also add numerous filters in a Smart Collection. So if I make a new Smart Collection, right click and say new Smart Collection, and I want to find everything with a 720 frame size, and a frame rate of 2997. And I double click that and I add my first filter with format, and I go to frame size and I say 720. Finds everything with a frame size of 720. It's basically 720 by 480, and then I add another filter and I'm going to say format again, and I want the frame rate to be 2997. Now I can just keep adding filters as I want, and I'll say I want to text all the shots that say rich. I know I have one in here, and there's rich. And I can always take these on and off if I want to unsift them by a certain thing. So even when I close them and I double click it again, all those will be there, and I can just take one off. I can delete one. If I don't want to just find rich, I can delete that filter out of there, or just turn it off. So that's basically how you organize using the smart collections. It's a quick way to sift through your footage, but there are other ways to organize. It really depends on what your project is and how much media you have, and we'll go into those in the next tutorials. Thank you.